Welcome back to Magic Tarot Cards. It's Jasmine with an 8-card spread. This is going to be for the man that got shot by the police in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe it was. His name is Rayshard Brooks. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. As everybody knows, that he got shot in the back is what I understand. The police were trying to arrest him because of... I don't know the whole story because I don't watch the news. I just saw a 2-minute clip. So something about he got shot in the back when he was running, and he was supposed to be arrested for a DWI or something like that. Okay, so and this was requested by someone, so I'm gonna pick up his energy and see where we're gonna go from here. First, I'd like to say this video is not made for kids. If you're under the age of 18, please click off now. This channel is my brand. Don't try to attempt copying any of it. And also be respectful of the comments. And like I said before, there's a new sheriff in town. And I'm it. Let's get started with the first reading. With the first card. Here we have the Tower. Okay, so as we all know, first I asked the cards, what was his energy? Okay, now that he's passed, I want to know his energy, his thoughts, what he's feeling. And then we'll see what we can get from him first. If y'all hear noise in the background, it's because I got some freaking neighbors that are making a whole lot of noise. So, yeah, this is the Tower. This is the card of unexpected events. So this is him. This was his energy, you know, as, you know, when he died, it was an unexpected event for him because he didn't know he was going to die that day, of course. He didn't know, you know, he was going to be arrested or try to get arrested, or, you know, everything that happened to him. So it was a big shock to him. As his soul left his body, he was in a whole lot of shock. He couldn't believe what had happened to him. He couldn't believe that he had got shot. He couldn't believe that he died. He couldn't believe that he was attacked the way he did. He's saying that he was attacked because there was no reason for him to be shot like that. Now, I do know that he ran from the police, which was probably not the right thing to do. I don't think he should ever run from a policeman. I do feel like if he had let them arrest him, they would have just got him for a DWI and then that was it. But the simple fact that he did run, it just turned hostile, and that was the ending results. I'm not saying the police were right. They were totally wrong. They shouldn't have did what they did. They shot an unarmed man. They shot him in the back. So that right there is a huge no-no, you know. So, yeah, it's a horrible energy here. Complete shock to him. Wasn't expecting it. So, yeah, this is the card of unexpected events. So right now his soul is in this state here. This is depression and crying. He hasn't ascended yet. See, this is the card of ascending here, but it's in the reverse. So he hasn't gone anywhere. He's still on the earth plane. He's trying to absorb everything. He's in true depression. His soul's depressed. He's crying like this, not knowing what to do. He kind of feels like he created a self-imprisonment. You know, in a way he kind of blames himself, but then in a way he doesn't. I hear him say, I shouldn't have went out that night. I shouldn't have stopped at Wendy's. I shouldn't have went to try to get, you know, whatever it was he was getting. I should have just went straight home, is what he says to him. So he's extremely depressed. He's sad. He knows that his family is sad for him, and he doesn't like to see them cry over him. And it's just a huge upset. He does want justice, though. He feels like he was done wrong, that he was stabbed in the back. And he does want justice for what's going on, you know, especially what's going on in the world right now. With this card, also, there's like unfortunate conditions or circumstances. That's how he feels. It's just a lot of trauma. He just can't pick up his head and look straight ahead because it's just so much trauma. So much trauma. Okay. I almost choked with that. Okay, so again, I said he hasn't ascended. So in the upright position, this is when you're moving on, ascending into a different phase, you know, just moving on up from where you're at. the current status that you're at, or the current state that you're at. So this is ascending, moving higher to where you're at, but it's in the reverse for him. So he's stuck. He's stuck because he can't get over the fact of what happened to him. He has not yet left. He's still in shock. And until he wears off that shock, he's not going to be able to ascend just yet, until he figures out how to move forward. He can't figure out how to move forward. So he does need prayer from everybody. He needs prayer from everybody so he can move forward and go towards, where he's supposed to go. But right now he can't do that, so he's just remained stuck here on earth. He hasn't ascended yet. He might be in between realms, is what I'm hearing, but he's not to where he's supposed to be. Not yet, anyway. So with the Hangman reverse, it's just a delay in something that's inevitable. So whether he's delaying himself from ascending or the circumstances around him, either way, it's a delay. He doesn't want to move from the old image that he's at. Because usually when someone gets this card, they're still stuck in their old image, which is being alive. He wants to be alive. He doesn't want to be dead. So he doesn't want to move from that. He doesn't want to change consciousness. This card in the reverse is when you cannot change consciousness. And he does not want to die. He does not want to be dead. He does not want to move on from his old image, which is his earthly body. Okay? So, I feel sorry for him. I really feel sorry for him. I don't feel like they should have killed him the way they did. I feel like the police harassed him, okay? That sobriety test and all those questionings and questions that second police officer questioned him, with all those questions, made him look at his finger. I saw that clip. That was harassment, okay? All that was harassment. I don't feel like all that was necessary because they already knew he was drinking. Okay, why didn't they just slap handcuffs and put him in the back of the car? This is the question that keeps coming up for every black man that has died by the hands of police. Why don't they just handcuff them, put him in the back of the car? Quit asking all these ridiculous ass questions that most likely the person can't answer because they have been drinking, and the police already know that. So why are they continuously harassing them and not doing their job like they're supposed to? They had every opportunity to put the handcuffs on him and just stick him in the back of the car and take him to the precinct and then book him from there and let him sober up overnight. But no, they had to do all this test and ask him all these questions when they knew he was drunk. None of that makes sense. To me, that's harassment. And that's what the police are known for, is to harass people. Okay? So especially the black people, especially the black men. I myself have been harassed by a police officer because I'm a minority. Okay, and that's how the policemen, see me, or other races see me as a minority. Okay, I was literally stopped at a red light waiting for it to change, and that's when I had my knee surgery last year. So I was coming from therapy, and the policeman came up from behind me and made me pull over while I was still at the red light. And I was like, "What the hell? Why is he pulling me over?" So I pulled on over and I asked the officer, "Why are you stopping me?" And he says, "I need to see your insurance." And I said, "Okay, but why are you stopping me?" And he would never answer that question. Okay, and then I gave him my insurance, and he says, "Well, I need to check your..." Well, at first I didn't give it to him right away. I just kept asking him, "Why are you stopping me? What's the reason you're stopping me?" "I'm at a red light." I told him I'm not speeding. I wasn't speeding prior to coming to the red light. I said, "Do I look suspicious? Do I look like someone you recognize? What's the reason you're stopping me?" And I must have asked him several times. I recorded that conversation, by the way. And he could never give me a straight answer. Never. He would say, "Well, I work these streets and this is my job." Okay, besides all that, why are you stopping me? And he can never answer that question. So that's harassment. Okay, what I think is that he saw me, that looks like a minority, which I am a minority, driving a junky little car and probably automatically assumed that I didn't have insurance. He was behind me and like, "Oh, well, let me see if this minority has insurance. I can give a ticket." That's what went through his mind. That's harassment. But little did he know, yes, I have insurance. Just because my car looks junky doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. Doesn't mean that I don't have insurance. I drive the same car, and I'm going to keep driving it until it don't go no more because I don't want any new car payments. And I'm going to just get, and it's not that old anyway. I drive a Kia. So, to me, that was harassment. So anyway, back to the story. So once I gave him my he says, just let me show, he says, let me see your insurance and I'll let you go. And I told him, well, you have no choice but to let me go. I said, I'm not doing anything wrong. So I gave him the insurance and he looked at it and then they let me go. And I thought, you wasted all that time. I'm here in pain with my knee because I just had knee surgery, trying to come home from therapy, and you're wasting my time. See, but it could have went a whole different way if I had resisted and acted stupid or whatever. It could have went a whole different way for me. I probably would have got shot too, But anyway, so this is George's energy here. I'm sorry, not George, but Rayshard's energy. I don't know why I said George. I feel like George is on my mind right now. So, as the story goes, he wants to stay in this energy. He wants to stay in his formal life. He doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to be alive, because he doesn't feel like he should have died. Like his life shouldn't have been taken away from him. But this is the end for him. This is the end of a karmic cycle. That's what the Ten of Swords represents. End of a karmic cycle. There's no more life than in the situation in his body. There's no more life. It's the end for him. Okay, it's time to start something new. So what is that? What does that mean for him? That means that he has to ascend. Okay, he has to go. He cannot stay here. But I feel like he's going to be stuck here for a while. I don't feel like he's going to ascend anywhere because he doesn't want to. Okay, and and that just makes things worse for him. Not being able to accept. It's going to take him a while. It's going to take him a while to get there. And it's not going to be until justice is served, I believe, that he's going to be hanging around. Okay, he's going to see it through, But in a way, he's angry not only at the police, but he's angry at himself a little bit because he's kind of blaming himself, saying, I shouldn't have been drinking. He doesn't blame himself for taking a run or running off or anything like that. He just thinks, I shouldn't have went out that night. I shouldn't have left. I shouldn't have went out. I should have went straight home, is what he's saying to himself. Okay, so anyway, but this is the end. This is the end. This is the final conclusion for his life, the end of a karmic cycle, the end of a lifestyle that is no more there. And that's what he wants. He wants his lifestyle back. He wants his old way of living, but it is the end of a lifestyle. It's a huge misfortune. It's a sudden misfortune. It's a natural conclusion, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so now I asked, about the court system and the police and all that. So here's the judge, the emperor. This represents the judge and with his mighty power stick. And this is a fair judge because he's got one knee uncovered and one covered. But here's the thing, okay? This is the problem that the judge is going to have because it's going to be hard to make a decision. Why? Because here's the Two of Pentacles right next to it. Okay, this is going to be a hard case because the police did shoot him in the back, so that's number one, that's wrong. That's what the police are going to get blamed for. But number two, Rayshard I heard he took stun gun or something, and ran. Instead of letting them arrest him, he ran. So it's going to be like this. See, the judge is going to be trying to balance. This is by balancing on one leg. This situation is going to be very stormy. That's why the water is wavy in the back. It's going to be very stormy. It's going to be a hard decision to make because you got, the police shot him in the back, but on the other hand, he took off running. So, it's going to be a hard decision. I don't know if they're going to do it by jury or judge or whatever, but it's going to be an extreme hard decision. So we're going to have to pull more cards to see which way this is going to go. And I'm really interested to see how they're going to do this because they were both in the wrong. He was in the wrong for running, and the police were in the wrong for shooting him in the back, So we'll see how those two go. And now I asked about our world's energy because this has even caused a more upset with the community, with amongst the people that are protesting, and it's not even calming down, not even for a minute. Whenever I thought there might be a calm, there is no calm. This is scattered energy. So this is a group of people fighting, a whole bunch of people fighting, and they're fighting for all kinds of things, not just one thing. See, because the wands are waving all over the place. They're not just waving one direction or the other. They're waving everywhere. So that represents a group of people fighting. So this represents the people that are protesting. They're extremely, extremely accepted. Oh, excuse me. Upset. They're very volatile. Very volatile. I heard they burned the Wendy's down. I'm sorry. I don't think it's funny, but what does Wendy got to do with anything? Wendy didn't kill nobody. Poor Wendy. But I heard and I know that's just to send a strong message, out to the police, but you got to stop burning stuff down, y'all. You just got to stop that. All that's doing is ruining our own economy, making our taxes go up. Somebody's got to pay for that stuff. So it's just a mess. It's a mess. But these protests are not going to stop anytime soon. I see that they're going to just keep going on and on and on. And the more people they kill, the more it's going to be. Sorry, I'm getting a terrible energy from this right now. It's going to be just a lot of confusion. I'm hearing a lot of confusion, struggle. Oh, lots of struggle. See, I'm losing my voice again. Whenever these energies come in, I can't talk. A lot of legal issues here. This legal issue is going to be huge, 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 huge. And difficult situation. I'm hearing difficult situation. I'm hearing that the people feel the need to defend something. Okay. They feel the need to defend something. They're themselves, their right, everything, but they feel the need to defend. So this energy is scattered. It's all over the place. These riots are going on. There's going to be more burning of buildings, more burning of cars, more policemen are going to get fired. There's going to be more black people die like this and these small incidents, which is going to cause more rioting. And this is going to go on for a while, y'all. It's not going to stop anytime soon. I don't see it stopping until next year, maybe sometime. People are just going to continue doing this. By the time they're done, the whole world's going to just be burned down. I mean, if they keep burning stuff, it's just going on. Everything's going to disappear. So again, we have the Page of Wands. This is the Page of Wands that brings in news. You're gonna hear all this through fax, social media, newspaper, phone calls, and you might hear good news as well because the page always brings good news. So I asked, what were we going to hear about this case? So you might hear good news. They might be in the favor of Rayshard Brooks, but I don't know how they're going to punish this officer yet because, like I said, it's going to be a hard decision because they both did something wrong. Rayshard took off running, and the other one shot him in the back. So they both did something wrong, and, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but we are going to be hearing about a lot of it here in the news. This is what this is. You see the page examining his message here. This represents a message, and it's going to come through fax, email, internet, news, whatever. It's going to be out there. All right, y'all. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do some more on this later. Yeah. So a lot of energy here, I just say pray for this poor man because he most definitely stuck, does not want to go anywhere, wants to stay in his old image, but he does need to ascend as soon as possible. So I just say everybody pray for him and see if we can get him through and then pray that justice will be served because no matter what, I don't feel like they should have shot him in the back like that. He didn't have a weapon. I heard he had a stun gun, but I'm feeling that they were many, many feet apart. So I don't think the stun gun would have even reached the officer, if he had shot him with it. So, yeah. This is your reading for now for Rayshard Brooks shooting in the back while he was at Wendy's. Y'all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. If you want a personal reading, you can reach me with the information down below. And I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.